Welcome to Reality TV Breakdown. My name is Jenny, and today we are going over Seeking Sister Wives, the most insane show on network television. Is it even considered network television if it's cable? I don't know. I may have misspoke. At any rate, let's talk about it. Okay, so this is episode 3. The title is Seeking Something Real. We start off where we left off, and that is in Cancun. So remember when we left last episode, it looked like Natalia was not going to be able to get onto her flight.
Who could forget that?
Little unclear why, but that's what it looked like was going down. We open this episode with Garrick and Danielle getting ready in the morning and excited because Natalia was on her way over there. I don't know that they slept at all that night because they were up talking to her at like 3, 5 in the morning. I don't know if they even went to bed. I don't know. The explanation from Garrick on how this all magically worked out was that,
wait for it,
a miracle happened that an IT guy bumped her up from 500 to number 1 on the wait list.
What?
Why she's on a wait list? Why an IT guy is the one that bumped her up? Not like some super... Nothing makes sense. Nothing makes sense. We just have to accept that. We get no other explanation other than that. Okay. Either the whole thing was a ruse and none of it was true to begin with. Like she got cold feet and just wasn't going to come, and then she changed her mind and she made up this whole story. Or maybe TLC intervened and they don't want to say that TLC intervened. So I don't know, maybe TLC didn't even tell Garrick the truth. I don't know. But something's off. That's all I can say. Something's off. Don't know what it is, but something's off. So she arrives at the resort, and Danielle and Garrick go down, and they give her and her mom hugs, and everyone seems happy to see each other. And then in Natalia's interview, help me here, I'm not completely understanding this, she said, I saw Garrick on social media. I looked at his stories, and the next day he sent me a message and asked to follow me. Huh? The next day he sent... So, like, there was nothing in DMs? And why did she look at Garrick on social media? Had he already? Something's wrong. And she made it sound like she just found him on social media. There's no way that's how it went down. Again, so many holes in this story. So many. Oh, my goodness. What does that mean? She saw him on social media, looked at his stories, and the next day... he sent her a message and asked to follow her. Huh?
No, I got nothing.
All right, let's go on. She goes on to say, Danielle had also called and sent messages to her. And she said, we established a relationship very quickly. So at least Danielle got brought in near the beginning, but it sounds like it started off with just Garrick and Natalia.
I knew it.
Can you hear it right now? They're in their house. Garrick finds this new hot girl in Brazil. He says to Danielle, I found somebody else. I want you to reach out to her and talk to her. And Danielle's like, I'm not ready. I don't think we're ready yet. I don't feel the calling. And Garrick's like, I feel the calling. I feel God has put her in our path. I don't know. I'm not sure. I think God's talking to us. And when God's talking to us, we have to listen. Right, Danielle? And then Danielle goes, right. And then Danielle reaches out as well. You're welcome for the reenactment. So after they see each other, Danielle twice makes the comment that she's pretty and she's tiny. She says it twice.
She's here.
Are you sure?
Natalia is beautiful, of course. She's definitely more like small and petite than I pictured her.
I find it odd that like we're going to aesthetics and outward appearance right away. Like this is the comment that we have. Like you've seen her, But I guess in person, she came across as prettier and tinier than she did on the camera. I just wrote here, odd, in my notes. It was just an odd comment from Danielle. Because we know Garrick's a pig and he always is superficial. But for Danielle to say that twice, I found kind of interesting. I thought maybe she was a little off-put because she thought, oh, she's prettier and she's tinier and cuter. I mean, bigger boobs than Danielle, but tinier overall body. And, ooh, my husband is really going to go for this. This is not what I thought. I thought she was more average Joe with good lighting. I don't know. I also wrote in my notes, that's an exact description of Roberta. Seems that Garrick might have a type. Brazilian tiny lady with big boobs and very young.
Sexy telenovela bombshell.
I am now going to have to include a clip of Garrick's reaction to seeing her for the first time. Not a live reaction, but this is, after he thought through it, what he thought would intellectually be a good thing to convey to the camera about impressions of her upon first meeting her.
Natalia's now dressed totally opposite, all dolled up, looking really gorgeous. Makes me happy because, I'm thinking about marrying this lady, so I'm pretty excited to see her looking so good today.
Ick! All superficial. So disgusting. He's such a pig. In the Talking Head interviews, there is Garrick and Danielle together, and they asked about the rooming situation, and Garrick said, oh, Natalia and her mom will be in one room. By the way, Natalia's mom wasn't invited on this trip. Natalia brought her mom for safety and comfort and because it was a little off. Not quite the same situation as Roberta, because he could hop over to Roberta's room at night. Well, Natalia has mommy staying with her. I love it. Love it.
The sleeping arrangements at the villa is going to be, Natalia's going to stay with her mom. I'm going to stay with Danielle.
Oh, hanky-panky.
No, hanky-panky, unless, there's a proposal and a commitment for life.
No. Unless there's a proposal. He's the worst. I mean, when you think it's the worst, it gets worse than the worst. The worst.
This is the worst.
Natalia goes on to say she's never been in a polygamous relationship before. Of course, who has? But she was interested because Garrick and Danielle and the boys are all so nice. All right. We have Garrick looking forward to the proposal already, and Danielle very unsure. Now let's go to the Davis family. When we last saw the Davis family in the last episode, we had Danielle, the other Danielle, the newest wife to the Davis family, had up and left. She got herself an apartment. She wasn't sure if this was right for her. She loved the situation she was in right now. This is like a Christine Brown situation, if you follow Sister Wives. She kind of knew she was never going to be the last wife. That's different from Christine. I think Christine always thought she'd be the last wife. Danielle knew she wasn't going to be the last wife, but she is not ready to bring in another wife yet. To her, it feels like it's only been a year or two. We have this brand new baby. I'm new to the marriage. Like, it's just a lot. And I feel like she's getting her groundwork laid and starting to feel comfortable and doesn't want to upset the apple cart. To the point that she left. Okay, now we're caught up in case you missed it. The producer asks Danielle, why did you move out? This is the one time that I really had sympathy for Danielle because she seems very immature, but this was sort of a mature response. She said that she doesn't want to stay and be in the way. She's not sure if she's ready to bring on another wife, but they all are. And so she doesn't want to be the obstacle and the roadblock to them continuing to grow their family, which was always the point of it, but she's just not there. She's just not ready.
I did decide that it would be best for me to get my own space while I'm making these decisions, just because I don't want to really disrupt the flow of the household. I don't think that's really fair.
And then she started crying over Vera. The producer asked if she said goodbye to anybody, and She did not say goodbye to the sister wives, and she said probably because she doesn't like really see it as a final goodbye. She's just confused. She just needs time away. And she had time alone with Vera before Vera went down for her nap, but she just cried over it because you can tell she loves that little baby, even though it's not hers, but I guess it's kind of hers in a polygamous relationship. I'm not sure how this all works. At any rate, my heart kind of broke for Danielle.
Did you say goodbye to Vera?
I mean, the night before, I did her pajamas and I was like, I love you, Vera. Like, I love you so much. But to be fair, in all honesty, I would rather do this while she's young and not fully understanding. Like, no, I wasn't like, hi, baby girl, I'm never going to see you again. Like, no, absolutely not. I would never do that. But I just knew, I was like, you know what? Like, as much as I love you, like, I can't be here and not fully be here.
It was a very authentic piece of film. I wrote here, she is actually maturely handling the reality of her situation. Well said, Jenny.
How'd you get so smart?
All right, now we cut to the Ryans. This is the first time we're meeting the Ryans. We have Becky and Justin, or Justin and Becky. I can't remember when I put the picture up who's on the right and who's on the left. They are from Texas and they knew each other growing up. Now, they got married when he was 19 and she was 16. Her father was the minister of a church that embraced polygamy. So I don't know, I can't remember now if she had multiple moms or not, but it was not a big deal to get married young and then to also have many wives. Well, they had 6 children. 2 of them are out of the house now, college or, I don't know, married, I'm not sure. 4 of them still live at home. So they have been married for a long time and have not been in a polygamous relationship and now are seeking a sister wife. So they mentioned there was a girl named Stephanie who they have been courting for 9 months and she lives in another state somewhere else. So she's been to visit them twice. Sometimes it's great when they're together. Sometimes it's not. I'm imagining they probably went to visit her a couple times too. She keeps getting cold feet. And apparently when she keeps getting cold feet, she just ghosts them because she must be a Gen Z. I don't understand ghosting. I don't get it. My Gen X mentality cannot comprehend it. So this is where they are right now. They have not heard from Stephanie in over a month. So she's ghosting him again, and probably because she knows the show is coming about, and she's sort of like, yeah, I'm not even sure if I want to do this, and you want to put me on television, on blast? No. So they're looking for another Stephanie, because they love Stephanie. They're looking for another Stephanie who is not fearful. Okay. They said they tried all the dating apps and all the sites and have not been successful. So what are they going to do? They're just going to go out into the public and try to find somebody on their own. Bad idea. Bad idea. You're much better off going to a dating app that's for polygamists, that people really understand the whole culture of it and everything, and get somebody that way. But they haven't been able to find somebody, which I don't know if it's because they're a little bit older. Like, they don't look older. I mean, she was 16 when she got married before she had these kids. It seemed like the other couples weren't terribly much younger than them. I don't know. He's a good-looking guy. She's a nice girl. She seems very friendly. He's kind of quiet. There have been a lot. I mean, we have Garrick, who's hooking up with people. And we have Nick, who's kind of creepy himself, who's got 3 wives and wants to look for the 4th. Like, if these people can find women to join them, I don't understand how this couple can't. So I'm thinking maybe this couple is a little particular too. And he sort of wants the perfect looking. The Stephanie girl, we saw pictures of them all together, but her face was always blurred out. But she looked, just from the hair and body, like she was probably a cute girl. So what do? They go to a bar. And they just decide, we're just going to try to pick somebody up. The husband's completely uncomfortable. This is not his jam. Becky is all for it. She's all excited. Like, let's go approach somebody. He's like, what? So I just say you want to date me? Like, no, I don't know. I'm just uncomfortable with this. He ends up going to the car to get some cards. I don't know if that was like code for I just need to get out of here. don't know what he's talking about. We never saw the cards. I don't know. So he ends up leaving the bar. She gets up and goes over to a girl down at the end of the bar who looks like could be about their age too. Asked her if she was single, and the girl said yes. Becky says to her, "Would you be interested in dating my husband?" The girl's like,
"What now?"
The two friends she's with at the bar are just giggling and looking down. And she's like, I don't date your husband? Now, meanwhile, this girl in a talking head did admit, like, he's kind of fine. You know, he's good looking, but this is just weird. She's not familiar with polygamy, obviously, like they were going to find somebody who just like wanted to jump into a polygamous relationship. This whole thing is awkward and uncomfortable to watch. The girl pretty much says, yeah, no, I'm sort of a one guy kind of gal. I have a jealousy streak. I don't think I would do well in a polygamous relationship. Okay. Well, Becky keeps pushing. Well, maybe I can get you my husband's phone number and you can just be in contact and then decide, you know, down there. And she's like, oh, yeah, okay. So Becky goes back. By now, Justin's back in the bar. So she brings Justin over to meet her. This is my husband, Justin. This poor girl. Like, I just told you I'm not interested, but it's nice to meet your good-looking husband. It's a shame he's not single. She didn't say that. I'm thinking, this is a subtext running through her head. I'm sure of it. So the girl at the bar is very friendly and very kind. And Justin asks this girl, I think her name is Desiree or something like that. He asks what she does for a living. This is continuing the conversation after she told him, yeah, I think I'm just too jealous of a person to be involved in this. He's like, oh, he goes, so what do you do for a living? She first says, I'm a director. And so I'm thinking, oh, she's in like production of that. And then she goes on to say, I'm a director of an international ministry. Ministry! Okay. What kind of ministry? Because most ministries are Christian-based, and Christianity does not embrace polygamy. Unless you're part of these fundamentalist groups that are a break off from the Mormon church. I'm thinking, oh, this is a sinking ship going down fast. Their awkward conversation continues to go on because Ryan is so uncomfortable and awkward. And Becky's standing next to him, smiling really big, like, this is great, isn't it? Instead of just leaving at that, like she has his number, okay, and then them leaving, Ryan says this.
I don't want to get rejected, but I feel like she's interested. We seem to vibe pretty good together.
We vibe together. No vibe. There's no vibe going on. This is a very sweet, nice girl who is appeasing you and doesn't want to be rude. Especially on camera, because obviously there's cameras watching this whole thing, so she's trying to be kind. He thinks they're vibing. All right. Would love to see an interaction with somebody who's not vibing with him. So I'm thinking, wow, this is just a train wreck. But then he goes on and says this.
What are you doing tomorrow night?
I actually do have tomorrow night free. That'd be fun. Okay.
After 25 years, looking, searching on and off.
And she says yes? How does she say yes? I don't understand this. I'm very skeptical. There's one or two things that are happening here. One, she thinks it's kind of cute and funny that she is on television. So she thinks, all right, I'll push this one more episode. I'll get a free meal out of it. This is the story of a lifetime to tell people going forward. The whole time, her girlfriends are at the bar just looking, laughing.
I'm sorry, what's your name?
Oh, Desiree.
I'm Becky.
So that's your husband?
Yes, I'll get you his phone number. Did you have a card? Did you end up getting him?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Did you want to come say hi to Desiree with us?
It's just, so I'm thinking she's just thinking, why not? I'm not going to like go home with them or anything, but yeah, I'll go out to dinner and hear what they have to say and learn about it. She said, I am interested in learning more about your faith, you know, Becky's like, So either that's the situation, or two, during breaks that we're not seeing in production, if somebody left and went to the bathroom or whatever, the producer said to this girl, listen, it doesn't have to go anywhere. You don't have to do anything. Are you willing? We'll pay per episode. You get X amount of dollars. You'll get a free dinner out of it. Just ask them about polygamy. And in the end, you can decline. That could be how it went down too. Or maybe option three, she's a plant from the beginning. Somehow the producers found this chick. Maybe she was in the bar before they even got in there, and they went around and started talking to people, and they're like, listen, will you play along for this scene? This is how it's going to go down. He's eventually going to ask you to go out. You know, we'll give you another $5,000 to show up the next day to this dinner and be on camera and do this. I don't know. What do you think? A, B, or C? How did it go down? Because this is not her really being interested in maybe joining their polygamous relationship. There is no way. Let's talk about Shane and Ashley for a little bit here. Okay. Shane is at his house and one of his good friends comes over, a female. She comes over and this is an opportunity for television to get him to discuss their lifestyle a little bit more. This is when we find out the nuts and bolts and truth about how this relationship is going to work, and the fact that his wife is bisexual and she's seeking out the sister wife. Well, according to Shane, the agreement is the girl that comes in will have an intimate relationship with Ashley. Ashley also has an intimate relationship with Shane. But Shane and the new girl shall never get together. They are just to be friends.
What?
So this is not a seeking sister wife situation at all. This is a married couple of which one of the partners is bisexual and the husband is open enough to say, continue to explore that. So she gets a side piece and he's uninvolved in it all. So bizarre. This is a crazy season. I'm loving it. Don't get me wrong. I'm loving it. I'm loving the crazy. I'm here for it. But this is crazy. Shane's friend, Rachel, is a very good voice of reason for him, kind of like questioning things and how does that really work and, you know, about his jealousy, etc., etc. And Rachel is kind of surprised that Shane shares with her how horrible this date went with Grace and how he told Ashley, I'm not into this Grace chick. You got to get, you know, I'm not on board.
I know that Ashley wanted to take at least, the night to think about it. So,
how do you navigate if she feels yes and you feel not?
if this person is disrespecting me or just kind of always like, talking with that tone and being standoffish, like I would definitely have to tell Ashley, hey, like this isn't working for me. I know you like this person, but this is a no for me.
Again, was this just for the cameras? What is there to think about, really? Even Ashley agreed that Grace was rude to Shane when they went out to dinner. So why does she want to continue a relationship with them when she knows the two of them are never going to get along? I don't know. And she's been admitting that even though she went on 5 or 6 dates with the girl, that there's really not that romantic connection. So what is there? I don't get it. But she needed the night to think about it. Rachel pushes the issue with Shane and says, well, what if she comes back and says, I want to continue a relationship with this girl? She says, what if she wants to still pursue Grace? And of course he says, well, I'm going to tell her it's just not going to happen. I'm sorry you feel that way, but...
Right? Of course.
This is what he says.
But if she feels yes and you feel not, do you just put your, feelings on the back burner, I guess?
If she wanted to continue after I expressed that, I'd probably be like, what the hell?
What the hell? I just wrote on here, come on, Shane, man up. He is whipped. Ashley wears the pants in the family for sure. Clearly, the fact that he's even trying to find somebody else for her to be with, and then they cloak it in the term of polygamy to make it seem like, no, this is a thing. And now, if she finds somebody he doesn't even like, he's like, well, okay. What can you do when your wife wants another girl? I know. I'll be here when you want me. Oh. Let's go back to Cancun. I take you to the beautiful beaches of Cancun. And the whole group of them, the 2 kids, Garrick, Danielle, Natalia, and her mom, are all going to a cenote, like one of those big, pools inside of caves. Garrick sees Natalia in her bathing suit, and he continues his piggish behavior.
You surprised?
I wrote in parentheses here, I hope his boys never watch this TLC show. They would have to be repulsed by his behavior as they grow up. Or are they getting brainwashed to be just like him, which I hope not. My heart, that's the only heartbreaking thing about all this. My heart breaks for these 2 boys. So Garrick says this about seeing Natalia in a bathing suit.
Ooh la la. Seeing Natalia, she's in the bikini getting showered off. I'm thinking, wow, I'd be a lucky man if she was my wife. And we'd have some gorgeous kids, too.
Meanwhile, we have Danielle over here who's gorgeous and beautiful and looks fantastic in a bathing suit herself, but mum's a word. He doesn't say, like my wife. And he doesn't even say, wow, my wife is looking great today, too. Yeah, nothing. It's all about Natalia. And he talks about how is Natalia going to get along with his kids. Like, he's just focused on Natalia coming into the family and making sure this all works out.
And he wants to bang.
So he's really interested in how the relationship with the boys is going to go. And I'm thinking, well, why is he so interested in how she's going to react with the boys? And then I find out why.
You need to see everybody interacting and the dynamic of how everybody fits and if she's going to fit. Because I'm getting ready to propose here soon.
This is not just let's meet Natalia in person. He is hell-bent on proposing to her on this trip.
But why though?
Because he wants to get her in the sack. In the talking head, Natalia must have been asked why she was attracted to Garrick, and she said that he is handsome and has beautiful eyes. Ick. No, he's not. He's very creepy, weird looking. He's very kind of psychopath killer looking. Really? He looks a lot like Jeffrey Dahmer. I mean, I think he does have blue eyes, so okay, maybe the eyes are... It's hard for me to objectively say that, but I think his eyes are blue, and because it's a little bit more rare to have piercing blue eyes, I could see her saying his eyes are pretty, but handsome? This is a stretch.
Ew, no, what? No, ew.
And then I wrote here, the language barrier helps to not understand the prosody and the nuances and all that of his speech. This really creepy serial killer vibe or cult leader vibe that he has. I don't think she can pick up on because of the language barrier. She just thinks that he's sweet and nice soft talking voice. She can't pick up his creepy old man vibe because she doesn't understand anything he's saying. This is a mess. There is a gem. There is a Cody Brown gem line in here that I absolutely loved. He is so narcissistic, just like Cody, and how Cody thinks he looks amazing when he doesn't. Garrick the same. She said that Garrick's been telling her, I've been working on my physique for you to please her. Here's Garrick's physique. He has the Cody Brown body. Totally has a Cody Brown body. I am so sorry for you people who don't watch Sister Wives. I don't know who Cody Brown is, but oh my goodness. The disillusion in their minds that they are hot is incredible. So they get to the cenote and they go down the steps and then they're in the little water area there. And right away, Natalia notices all the bats that are flying around in the cave and she is having none of it. Turns around and goes right back up the stairs. Danielle tries to coax her back down. It's okay. And she's like, yeah, I am not swimming with bats. So that kind of was a bust of a trip. Danielle's talking head says that she's a little concerned about the connection between her and Natalia because according to Danielle, her and Roberta hit it off right away. And they had this sister bond right away and were very close. And she's not feeling that with Natalia. I think she's feeling like Natalia's not trying as much as Roberta was trying. But we know Roberta was just out for all their money. So Roberta would do or say anything. And it made Danielle feel real good. Maybe this girl's trying to see first if there's even a connection really with Garrick before she moves on and develops a strong relationship. I don't know. It feels like maybe this girl's a little brighter and smarter and more emotionally mature than Roberta was. And clearly Roberta was just out for all their money. So Natalia's not as good of a con artist as Roberta was. So we get to the end of that day and they're all showered and they're sitting somewhere in like the lobby of the hotel and they're just talking about the day, and Natalia apologizes she ruined the trip because, or the excursion because of her fear of the bats, and they're like, no, it's fine. Garrick is very creepily petting her hair and rubbing her leg as they're talking. And she is giving no response. It's, you know what it is. It's creepy. It's weird. It's wrong. It's, and she says she's tired and she just wants to go to bed. Go, Natalia. Go to bed.
Not a girl.
Get away. Run as fast as you can. I wrote that Derek's behavior appears very groomy to me with Natalia. It does. I'll put a clip.
I'm tired, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go. Listen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Danielle in her talking head expresses concern again. She doesn't know about this. She doesn't think there's the connection that there was with Roberta, so she doesn't know about all of this. In Natalia's talking head, she says that she loves Garrick, but there is a long road ahead with Danielle. I don't understand what that means exactly in terms of, she obviously doesn't feel a connection with Danielle either, but it seems like Danielle is trying, so I don't know. But I found that comment interesting.
Eu acho que eu já estou apaixonada por ele, mas a Dani, a gente tem um longo caminho pela frente para que tudo ocorra de forma perfeita.
So they're leaving and they give hugs, and then Garrick and her have like a quick peck of a kiss at the end, and he tells her that he loves her. She doesn't say it back. In the talking head, she said she loved him, but like to his face, she's not saying it. At least not this time. Before they went to bed. I don't know. It's kind of the time you would like kiss and say goodbye and say I love you. No, I love you. No.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
This is a crazy situation. Honest to goodness, we are only in episode 3 with these two, and it just feels like this could be an entire season. This was all of last season. This is kind of how it culminated at the end of last season, and here we are, episode 3 already. It's just, can it keep getting better? I mean, and by better, I mean crazier and not better, but like great TV better? I don't know. Let's end it off with the Davis family. Let's go back to the Davis family again. Remember, the gentleman who has the 3 wives, and Danielle, the newest one, who left. Now, she's coming back to have dinner and talk with them. It's a tense environment. She's kind of like talking about preparing the food and making sides and that while he's making steaks on the grill, and everyone feels on edge. And they sit down to eat. According to one of the talking heads, I don't remember who's the one that said it, but somebody says Danielle, after a couple of days, texted and asked if she could move back. So it made it sound like she wants back into the family, and that this dinner and getting together is an opportunity to discuss what happened so it doesn't happen again. But of course, they were welcoming her back. And then it said, whoever was talking said that, or maybe it was actually Danielle, it says that she has not discussed with them how she's feeling. Okay, so now they're going to go to dinner and do that. She said that she returned because she loves all of them. Nick is very relieved that Danielle's back. He's happy about it. So they sit down and they start eating, and Nick says, okay, let's talk about, is everybody here on board with continuing to expand our family? And Danielle says, I'm not at this point. And then she gets up and she leaves the table and she goes into the bathroom. End scene. It's the end of the episode. So she came back to talk to them. I think they thought she was coming back to move in because somebody in their talking head, I'm sorry, I don't know who, but it says Danielle, after a couple of days, texted and asked to move back. Maybe they thought she was asking to move back when she was asking to come back. She just meant come back, meaning to visit and talk to them about where she stands. So it doesn't look like it's going very well for the Davis family right now, does it? That's the end of the episode. Another great one is going to be coming up soon. I really need to get this edited before the next one comes out. I apologize. My life is too busy in the next few weeks. It's going to keep getting busier. I apologize. I'm going to really focus on it. I am. All right. I hope you enjoyed this review. I hope you enjoyed the episode. I will see you next week for a review of episode 4. If you've made it to the end, thank you so much for sticking with me. Make sure you like, subscribe, shoot me a comment, even if it's just to say hello. And if you're interested in Sister Wives information, go to my main channel, which is called Senior Perspective. The link will be down below. Bye, everybody.
Like, follow, subscribe.
I appreciate it. Thanks.